Since the dawn of time, stories of monsters of the abyss have been passed down, and Western New York has had its share of tales.
You almost can't find a body of water big enough to spin around in that there isn't some kind of a big snake legend about.
Mason Winfield has done quite a bit of research on the subject. Sightings in the Erie Canal, the rivers, the ponds, and of course the lakes.
Of course, the two big lakes, Erie and Ontario, both have their legends.
Lake Erie's monster is nicknamed Bessie and has been reported as recently as the 90s. Other such stories are much older, such as the Serpent of Ontario, that the Iroquois legend says would wage battle with the thunder god.
Majority culture people have claimed that they've seen really big serpents in Lake Ontario.
There's also the story of a monster at the base of Niagara Falls that would feed on people who ventured too close and could only be killed by a young man armed with a bow and arrow with a white arrowhead. It is said that a large vertebrae embedded with a white arrowhead was discovered during the construction of the original Shulkoff power plant in Niagara Falls.
The sightings that interest me the most are the really obscure ones, the ones in a body of water that the thing could hardly take a bath in it.
Right. Such as the serpent that is said to live in this small pond about the size of a football field in the town of Alabama. It's gone by many names: Spirit Pond, Spirit Lake, Divers Pond. It's a body of water held sacred by the Senecas. In fact, it was part of the Tonawanda Reservation until 1838.
The dark gray is the flint, I gather, that they use for arrowheads.
82-year-old Marvin Miser knows the land well, and he knows this pond.
My first experience being down here was in the mid-40s and ice skating.
He's lived in the area his whole life, and he's the current owner of the property adjacent to and a portion of Spirit Lake itself, which has also been called Bottomless Pond because of its murky, soft floor.
I have tried to put sticks or stuff down there and you just keep going down, down, down.
The perfect habitat for a sea monster, some might say. Not Marvin. Marvin's never seen one, but he also says he's not taking any chances.
Well, I never have. No, I really don't think so. But I'll tell you one thing. I'm not taking any of the stones or anything that's supposed to be sacred.
Native legends date back centuries. The first settler to be introduced to it was the Reverend Samuel Kirkland in 1788. He was a minister to the Oneidas.
He was passing through Western New York in the company of the Seneca, and the Seneca took him to this pond and said, there's a giant snake in there, and it breathes fire, and it needs a ceremony of tobacco every year on the right day, and if we don't do that ceremony, it comes out and kills people.
They performed a tobacco ceremony, and while Kirkland never admitted to believing in the serpent called Sais Tegoa by the Senecas, he didn't take any chances either.
He spent a long time meditating at this little pond, and he left without touching finger or toe into the water.
The stories of sightings are countless, from the Great Lakes to Silver Lake, the Erie Canal to the base of the falls and beyond. Whether you believe in them or not, the one thing that is 100% true is that they have a home, treading water through the unknown stories of Western New York.